Now, so it's a great start for the Twins, and we are honored to have two-time World Series champ Kent Hrbek here, along with Bob Motzko. This is great. Thank you very much for coming in. I'll get to my chair. Now, Bob, we've both seen Kent hit some massive home runs in his day, but there is one that you know of.
Yeah.
That you witnessed personally.
All right, you don't know this, Kent. You sure wouldn't remember this, but 1978 Legion tournament.
Oh yeah.
Austin, I was from Austin Legion.
Yeah.
And so we were both in that tournament, and you hit a home run. It's still to this day the longest home run, and you have to remember it because it was a bomb. And have you ever hit one longer than that?
I don't know, but I remember them talking about because Moose Scourin was supposed to have hit the longest one at a home run at that field at that time, and yeah, I did hit one a long way. And actually, we ended up getting beat by Terry Steinbach's team.
New Ulm.
That's right, New Ulm back then to go to the championship. Were you playing then?
Well, we didn't play. We weren't playing you. We were in the stands watching you take that game on.
But you were playing in the tournament?
Yeah, Austin was in the tournament. We're the host in the tournament. Yeah. I don't know how they did. I don't remember
what's
that.
the name of the
Marcusson Park?
Marcusson Park. That's it.
It had to have been 500 feet because the ball left the park.
We lost, though. That was the bad part.
Doesn't matter. I'm telling you, it was a long. I've told this story 1,000 times. I didn't know it if I'd ever run into and meet you, but I was in the stands that day, and it was an absolute bomb.
That was the final game I played as a amateur. I signed right after that.
I think they saw that, they go, where's the pen? Let's get it to this guy. All right, Kent, let's talk a little bit about this Twins team. Byron Buxton has been sensational again to start the season. 2 more hits today. I think he's hitting over 450 already. Granted, it's a very small sample size, but still 6 hits, a double and a triple. And what really makes this guy tick is the speed, right? He's got to keep those legs going.
Right, healthy. That's the big thing for Byron Buxton. I think that's why they're starting him out DH and give him a chance to kind of work in, get into the rhythm of the game, the rhythm of the season. You got to keep the guy healthy. We know that when he's on the field for the Twins, he helps them win. He's got so many different things he can use offensively, and then when he starts playing the outfield defensively, he helps out. So keep him healthy. I think that's what they're trying to do, and it's good to see him off to a good start. It's good to see the team off to a good start. That's the big thing.
Yeah, he is basically the straw that stirs this team, right?
I think so. Yeah, he's one of them. Correa's got to hit the ball well. You got to have the pitching staff has done super so far. Which, my old manager Tom Kelly says if you don't have the horses to pull your wagon's not going to go anyplace. And he always started with the pitching. He wanted somebody to be able to pitch, and the starting pitching has been lights out so far.
All right, now for you, Bob, the Gophers going for their 6th national championship when you face Boston University, and this is the 2nd straight trip to the Frozen Four for your club. And you had some players that put their NHL careers on hold that said, you know what, I want to come back for another shot. What did that say to you when guys like Brock Faber and Matthew Nye said, you know what, we want to come back and take another kick at the can?
Ryan Johnson, Jackson Lacombe.
Yes.
These are in our sport right now. The lure to take these guys out it's part of the game now. It's happening, but there are the times now when these players will come back, and there's no reason for them not to come back for something like this. And it started with Lacombe and Johnson, and then Faber walked into my office a year ago right about now. He said, I'm not done here yet. And think, he's only 20 years old. I mean, he's just, his best hockey's still in front of him. He's they've all had terrific seasons for us, but we wouldn't be where we are today without the decision of those guys coming back to play for us this year.
Yeah, and Kent, you had a core group of guys that stuck together from the 87 to 91. How much did that help the second time around with that group?
Oh, that was huge. There was 8 guys that came back that played that won a World Series in 87 and then again in 91. But it's interesting to hear that with the hockey players getting a chance to go because they're going professionally then. And like you said, they got that lure, the dollar sign hanging over their head to go. Myself, I stayed around here. Puckett stayed around here. We could have signed contracts bigger someplace else, but we felt a good core group of guys that we wanted to stay together with, and a lot of guys stuck around here, and it was why we won those championships, because guys stuck around and wanted to play together as a team.
Yeah, and this year's team, again, small sample size, but the fielding has been so much crisper for the Twins this year. They've already turned a couple of double plays, and, you know, it's a point of emphasis that we saw at spring training. How important is that in the way they've changed the game now?
Well, you know, the game is definitely a little different. I see it going back to the old way they played games because there's no shifting going on. The game is sped up a little bit. But it really, like you said, Jimmy, they look like they really worked hard on their fielding. A lot of fielding practice and a lot of situations going on down there in spring training with different fielding deals and fielding plays. But you got to have defense too, and looks like they've worked at that. They've had, like I said, 4, 5, 6 double plays already in the first 3 games. So, and then again, that comes with your pitching. Getting the ball on the ground.
Well, that's where I'm going, is this staff. As you said, Tom Kelly says you need the horses. It looks like they finally have the horses 1 through 5 here. Maeda is your 5th starter right now, and he was the runner-up for Cy Young before he had the Tommy John.
Yeah, he was number 1 for us 2 years ago. So, yeah, it's nice to see. Plus, they've got a couple guys down in
St. Paul?
St. Paul, exactly, that are going to be hanging up. Bailey Ober, who they thought was going to make the club out of the get-go, but he's starting down in St. Paul. So they're going to be deep. I like the way the bullpen's throwing the ball so far. They get this Caleb Thielbar is
yeah. Well, how about remaking his career?
What a story for the kid from Northfield, I think he's from.
Yep.
Great kid and has done a super job out of the pen for him the last couple of years, and it'd be fun to watch these guys go deep this year. Right now, the way they're playing, they're unbeatable. Right?
Exactly. Well, Bob, you're hoping to go a long way as well when you get to Tampa. And this team, we talked about the Twins' depth. You've got depth. And you've also got a couple of players that really have exploded on the scene this year with Matthew Nyes and Logan Cooley, 2 of the 3 Hobie finalists. How has Cooley come in here, especially because this is his first run here at college hockey, and been so good?
I don't think I could say those 2 names without saying Jimmy Snuggerud as well, because that line, it's been a long time since any of us have seen a line that dangerous, that potent offensively, and they've got it all. The biggest thing they've got is they compete their tails off, and they've got a motor. They come every night to play. They got a lot of fire in their belly to go with that talent. They got the size with Jimmy and Nyes, and then you got Logan Cooley, who kind of stirs it all up for that group. So, and our fans have responded, just unbelievable this season to follow. But they're a treat to watch, and we're sitting in a good spot heading down to Tampa Bay.
Yeah, and we talk about your firepower all the time, and the 3, 4, 5 NHL-ready defensemen you have. But really, the goaltending, Justin Close, has been fabulous. And he's kind of, at least by the media, the untold story.
Well, I was asked that this week. Is he the quietly under the radar? And I said, let's not talk about it. Let's leave it right where it is, because Justin Close has been a backbone for us since it's been a year and a half now. He's been the number 1 goalie. He was just fabulous last week in Fargo in the region for us. Most important, our guys just have tremendous faith in him and belief in him. And he's calm, he's cool, he's experienced now. He's our guy back there that we lean on heavily.
Yeah, it's going to be such a sensational week for Gopher hockey. Back to baseball real quick, Kirby. The new rules include a pitch clock, bigger bases, no shifting, and also limited throws over to first base. But really, they didn't need to limit the throws, because if they played first base the way you did in this clip back in the day, I don't think we'd have any problem with people, trying to steal bases. Again. Well, don't you think, though, Bob? This makes a lot of sense. I mean, look at the throw over.
No, they didn't teach the guys how to slide. That was the problem there. The guy didn't slide. The guy slides, he's safe.
Right.
He might be out, though, too, but.
Right.
He was out. I don't know what they were arguing about.
There we go. Thanks, Bob. I appreciate that.
He was out.
All right.
Well, yeah, it was. Well, he runs into you. I mean, he's a big guy. You're a small first baseman, barely handling the position.
Jimmy, it's getting late. You're starting to lose your mind now.
All right, Bob, thank you so much for coming in.
Right.
And congratulations on a great season. And hopefully we'll see you next Sunday night here with maybe something important with you. And Herbie, thank you so much.
Yep.
Well,
we'll
good
see
luck,
you at
man.
your gate on Thursday.
Yeah, we're at the game on Thursday. We got 3:10 start, I think.
Yep.
And then as soon as the game's over, boom.
Yep.
we're watching
Have
some
it on
hockey.
at Hrbek's.
Yeah, well,
exactly.
We're watching some hockey.
All right.